All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live with the Mayor Malcolm with the City of Hemet. And I know a lot of people are having questions about the Fairview fire. So we're going to let everybody start getting logged in, and then we'll start answering any questions that you may have. So we're going to go ahead and get everything tuned in and start getting this going. So let me just go ahead and get this phone set up. All right, let me go to Facebook so I can monitor the comments.
Look at that beautiful page.
I know, right? All right.
Yeah, I had to change. I changed my my background picture to.
There we go. Much better.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I had to change my. First of all,
go ahead and start talking. I'm gonna hook this Wi-Fi up to the antennas.
All right. So, I hope that you guys are doing well. I'm just gonna come, on here and give some updates. The updates that are already on these different websites and stuff like that is the latest information that you'll get. But when I'm talking about the updates, I'm talking about what we do in the aftermath. So, a little bit of background when I first, heard about the fire and how it was threatening our areas and how we had to evacuate McSweeney area down there on State Street and all the homes on State Street bordering the county area. I started to make phone calls to our fire chief and our city manager to ask, is there anything that I should be doing right now? And so the staff was encouraging me that there was nothing I could do right now, and just kind of sit back and let the experts go to work. And so I was asking, do I need to do any type of reassurance for the citizens? And they were saying we're going to wait for a second. And so then what happened was the news got wind of what was happening because the fire started spreading, because nobody thought it would like double in size and stuff like as fast as it did. So everything just happened. It was like bam. And so I was told that as it doubled, that I should just kind of sit back and see what happens. And the reason why they told me to sit back and see what happens is because the fire itself was not within the city boundaries. And so people were asking me, you're in charge, how come you're not saying anything in it? And it would be like me speaking for a whole nother city. And so because the fire originated in the county and then just kind of came up towards our borders, I was told that it's more of the county's responsibility to make those press conferences. And so because we didn't want to, we can't speak on behalf of the things that are damaged in the county. We had to get information from all of the county officials. So what was happening was, as they were trying to, because people were asking why did it stay 5% for so long? And so what happened was, as the fire grew, the fire personnel was trying to create an encampment around it. And so that's what they meant by containment. Anytime they talk about containment, they're trying to surround the entire fire. So they could only get 5% of it surrounded because it kept changing direction. So one minute it'd be coming towards Hemet, the next minute it was going towards Anza, the next minute it was going in a whole nother direction. And then as the wind would pick up, embers would carry across and then start new fires in different areas. And so then people would have to rush around. So when the supervisors would go around and try to get, information and updates, they're scrambling and they got to talk to the line leads, where the line leads give information, and then they got to go around to each line, and then they have to come back to the command post, and then that's when they share the information with the rest of the world. And so by the time a supervisor would get back to the command post, the information's already owed. And so as they were going through that, they were like, okay, well, we'll set you up, we'll set you up. And then next thing you know, a whole week goes by and then I'm not showing my face. So what I started doing was immediately I started posting on my face page, which is right now it's titled Mayor Malcolm Lilienthal. And I encourage you guys to follow that, because I was my heart was breaking for the citizens, because there was no way for me to reach them, because I'm gonna just say no one's following the page. I only have like 600 people who are following me on this page, and I have 90,000 residents who don't know who I am, what I'm doing here, and things like that. And so if I can encourage everybody to follow me on Facebook on my council page. If you see me, Malcolm Lilienthal, a regular page, I wouldn't follow that one or friend me, because I don't post on it. You might see like some stuff about my kids, but when it comes to the city, you should follow either because the city of Hemet was posting, the county of Riverside was posting. We had Senator Rosalia Ochoa Bogue posting. We had all these different agencies were posting, but people were still asking, what do we do? How do we help? But all that information was out there, and I was trying to figure out moving forward, because I learned a lot from this. As citizens, we were heavily unorganized, but behind the scenes, everybody doing their jobs, fire personnel and everybody was heavily organized, and they were reassuring us leaders that everything's under control, relatively under control. And so we just put our trust in them, and we were hoping that the citizens would put their trust in us, because it's something like if you're on an airplane and you get that turbulence, it's like the first instinct is to get scared, but I always look to the stewardess, and if they're not experiencing anxiety, then I know we're okay. But the moment I see their faces get a little weird, then that's when I know I need to, well, there's really nothing you can do, you're in the air. But at the same time, it's like I'm out and I'm listening to, I'm reading posts like, where are city leaders? And you had Carly Meyer out there, ground zero at the fire. You had Linda Krupa go out there, ground zero at the fire. And they were all posting on their pages about different things, thanking the fire department. And so I don't know if it's that people are not following their pages, but at least follow mine for at least until December, because you'll get all the city updates. You'll get everything that, I talk about council meetings. I talk about upcoming issues in the city. All kinds of things that will give you guys information so that you guys aren't left in the dark when it comes to city business. And so one thing I wanted to encourage or let you guys know is, if you know anyone who lost everything, like complete loss, right? Have them go over to Talkwitz High School, because some people aren't going over there because they have the money to stay in the hotels and because they have their friends and family that they could stay with. But if you know anyone out there, encourage them to tell their friends and family to go to Talkwitz High School, not to stay there in the shelter, for example, but so that they could sign up with the American Red Cross to get that process started, so that they can get the process started on whether it's food, shelter, or the rebuilding of like getting a new home and things like that. The American Red Cross, once you sign up with them, they'll have that process ready to go. Another thing I wanted to share that Russ Utz shared too was that the Chamber of Commerce is getting involved as well. And so they said that if you have they're launching a program where those who lost their homes can fill out a form and for items they need, and businesses and individuals can also submit what they are willing to provide. Then they'll connect those displaced with those willing to help. And so they did mention that people who like businesses that want to get involved need to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce to help out. And one of the things that some of the fire personnel were telling me, that people were bringing out items to help the fire department water, food, and things like that. And the fire department was trying to reiterate that they are well taken care of because that's where your tax dollars are going to. And so saving that money to help the firefighters, it's like we should have been saving all that up for everybody for the aftermath. But like, you know, if you're a regular citizen and you don't really talk to fire personnel like that on a regular basis, we wouldn't know that. And so some of the comments were the people who were coming up weren't CERT members. So what happens if you go up there and try to help, then they got to stop, train you, and then get you ready to help. Or now they got to stop, gather the items that you brought up there, and then find a place for it or something like that. And so they were saying that takes time away from the reports that are being sent out, that takes time for personnel. And they said that a lot of times they just save face and they just smile, get into the cameras with you guys, just so that you guys don't feel bad because you made the trip up there. So they're very grateful for everything. What do we have, like over 2,000, almost 2,300 fire personnel from federal agencies, county agencies, and I'm so glad that we were able to send our boys out to help. Right. And so a lot of people in the beginning thought that Hemet was on fire, but Hemet wasn't necessarily on fire. It was outside of our borders. So we were sending out help. And so I couldn't speak from a place of authority because all of this was happening in the county, threatening and we did have a loss at Simpson Park, but the mobiles are still there. The only thing that was burned down, I believe it was owned by the Hemet School District, and it wasn't even being used anyway. And so they were able to save that area. People are talking about it's like maybe the distance from, like if you're standing in front of the Hemet Theater across the street, like that's how close the fire got. You know what I mean? To the homes over there. So
a lot of people's been asking about the Ramona Bowl.
The Ramona Bowl is safe.
Good.
Yeah. You guys already know. We would have known.
Right.
You guys already, that place. And then keep them in mind because next year they're going to be doing their 100th year. And what I'm hearing is they're going to be in the Rose Bowl. Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, keep the donations coming to them so we can keep that going. Don't forget about our Christmas parade coming up. As far as like, somebody asked me, not me personally, the question was, you know, I would like to talk to others who had to leave and lost all their belongings in the Fairview fire. So if any of you are, you know, open to creating like a Facebook group, it could probably be maybe more of like a closed group of individuals who lost so that you guys can, you don't feel alone, right? Because I know some people have, you know, have family members and things like that, but it's like you don't know what it's like to lose your entire home kind of thing. And so you're around other people who have lost, and so you guys are kind of like-minded. But then other people who have lost things might get into a situation where they gain. So then because you're connected with them, you also get that opportunity as well. So try to stay connected online, try to stay connected with people. And then another question I was asked was what do you recommend? Because someone asked me, what do I recommend as a professional counselor, as well as Hemet's mayor? And so I told them that, suggested the Facebook group because someone else in the feed suggested it as well. And then they could reach out to Cal Fire. Like if you're on Facebook right now, you could go to Cal Fire Victims, and the end of it is like we for you. That will put you in a group of all kinds of people who have lost things to different fires. Remember the fire up north? All of those people are in that group, and they're talking about, or they're sharing information on how they overcame their situations. And then it's also organizations like Habitat for Humanity, and then you have Knock Knock Angels. Habitat for Humanity could probably help people through insurance companies and donations to rebuild homes. And then you have organizations like Knock Knock Angels So you got the home now, but you still need furniture. So the Knock Knock Angels organization furnishes your house. They work with a lot of like domestic violence people, and they work with people who have been in who've taken their in abusive situations, right? So they left, they got into a new apartment home, and then the Knock Knock Angels refurbished their home complete. It wasn't like they gave them a table and a chair, complete, even decorated kind of thing. So it's them too. And then you have another resource, which is recovering emotionally after residential fire. This is apa.org, and this is the American Psychological Association giving tips on how to make sure your mental stability is up to par. Because when you have a loss, it could lead you down a path of depression if you're not careful. And everybody experiences loss differently. So the wife could be okay, but the husband could suffer more, or vice versa. Or the parents are doing right or doing well, but the kids are, now where are we gonna live? And so there's a little bit of an adjustment period there. So my favorite thing about this week is I loved watching on Facebook how the community came together. Though, what can we do? And everybody was excited, and I hope that we keep that type of energy up, and maybe that everybody who was asking what can we do are the people who ask questions like that are natural leaders, and those are the people that should be creating these next door groups, these groups on Facebook that can gather a remnant of people of leaders together, so that when things like this happen, we're more organized. So we know that when we want to give, like the first thing we want to do is run up to Talkwitz High and then give all of our stuff to the Red Cross. But Red Cross is like, we can't accept it, and then you go away hurt because you're like, why can't they accept it? I'm trying to help out.
I'm glad you brought that up, Mayor, because we had Vivid Printing. They actually went up. They donated a bunch of water and food. They did accept some of the donations that they brought, but like clothing, we had some fire victims there at the Talkwitz High School shelter, and they were not able, those people were needing socks. We had one gentleman like, I need some socks bad, and they had socks to give, but Red Cross would not let them take it because due to the fact that it's an outside, it's not new, it's not in a package.
Yeah.
So they had to turn them away. So a lot of people's been asking, well, how can I help outside? Because we have so many people that are not in these shelters, like you said. They're either in families or they're in motels, and I've noticed a lot of people are sleeping in their cars outside of the barricades.
Yeah.
And so I made a phone call a while ago before you got here, and Cops for Kids over at 1112 South State Street here in San Jacinto, we're going to open up our studio to where people can actually bring donations. We got people that wants to bring water, food, clothes, hygiene products. I know we need a lot of hygiene for a lot of the people. You can be able to bring that to our studio. We're going to set up a date and time this week where people can actually bring all that there. And then we're going to have the fire victims able to come and do pickup there as well. So it's going to be a donation, drop-off, and pickup point. We've got a large facility there. We can, handle a lot of donations there. So we'll be making that announcement as well. So for those that want to help, like Mayor Malcolm is saying, that's where you can do that by bringing it in there. We'll be making those posts.
Because that's one of the things that they brought up was we don't know if you're bringing bed bugs. We don't know if you're, and you wash your items, but we don't know what's going to happen, and that company would be liable if somebody were to get sick or some kind of disease. And nobody's thinking like, oh, my clothes are disease ridden, but for insurance purposes, it's kind of like how the school district says, if you're going to supply snacks and stuff for the kids, it has to be store-bought.
Right.
It's something like a protection to protect, so if you wanted to donate items, the best thing to do is to buy brand new things, and you're thinking, well, I have all these things that I'm not using that I haven't worn in a long time. And it's like, those could go to the Salvation Army. Those can go to the Salvation Army and what's that Angel's Place on
Angel View.
yeah, Angel View. Those are like the perfect places for those used items to go. But when you're talking about giving to a huge organization like Red Cross, they either need the new things or they don't accept things because the things haven't been vetted.
Right.
And that just protects their liability. Hemet made me so proud. There were some individuals that I was kind of upset with because of their posts. You know, where was I and things like that. But Hemet made me so proud, and the fact that they, you know, everybody was coming together and you know, I got a room here and I have a room here and you know, we could band together and we can pull a pool of money. I seen GoFundMe's go out and things like that, and so I'm really proud to call him. You guys are my family, and people were talking about, you know, Hemet, you know, to me. When people talk about Hemet to me in a negative way, sometimes I laugh at our comments online.
I know, right?
You know, and it's like, because we're family, we can talk about each other, right? But if you don't live in Hemet and you're talking about Hemet,
Keep your opinions outside.
it's like,
Hemet.
don't. This is my family out here, you know.
Right.
I ran for city council because I wanted to make sure that everybody had an opportunity to be, you know, that because we, as residents, we deserve to be taken care of here, you know, structurally and stuff like that. So I wanted to ensure that by getting on council. I want you guys to just follow my page so you get those updates, and then you would, you know where I'm at, know what I'm doing, how much I've been out in the community, and all the things we've been doing as a council together. I mean, people were upset that Linda wasn't available, but she was in the hospital. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of sad that, you know, you can't even rest in the hospital because people are like, what are you doing where you're at, and things like that. And so this woman fighting for her life, and then she comes back and she's recovering, you know, and where's our city leaders at? You know, you got Carly, she has her health issues and things. And so it's like, it could have been a situation where, okay, we got this fire and then we also lost 2 council members. It could have been like that, but thanks be to God, they're still alive and they're able to still, you know, do their due diligence. I'm not going to talk about whether or not, you know, health or anything like that, but one of the comments that was made about me was that I'm not qualified for this position. And according to the state of California, all you got to do is live in your city and live in the district, and that makes you qualified. I have a really good heart. I have a heart for this city. I want to see change. I want to make sure or ensure that this corruption that people keep talking about doesn't keep happening. I'm one of those people that I fight for the people, you know. So it's like, you tell me, hey, can we do this? And then I figure out in the background, how do I make it happen? You know, people were talking about at Mary Henley Park, can you add more things for the adults to do there, you know? So now we got this fitness court coming there. We put a lot of money, we set a lot of money, that federal money aside to update some of those parks and stuff. But like, I can't speak for the rest of the council, but I can tell you for my own lifestyle that I am trying my best to do what I need to do to ensure Hemet's safety, Hemet's productivity, Hemet's just that Hemet feels safe. And I understand that, you know, crime is up, but I am working really hard to make sure that we are taken care of. And a lot of things have happened behind the scenes that people don't really know about because they're not following me on Facebook. And once you start following me on Facebook, you'll see that I post a lot of stuff about our council meetings, and it's not boring because I try to shorten it so you kind of know what was voted on. Just being transparent and open with you guys. My number is 951-923-2405. 951-923-2405. Text me your questions. If hey Malcolm, this and that's happening. Like somebody asked me, how come like there's a lot of potholes and a lot of roads that are messed up and stuff like that, right? And I told them that it costs just for a mile like $1.25 million. And we have something like 360 miles of road in Hemet. So just minimally, we would need $360 million to repave every single road, And not every single road is in those kinds of dire conditions, but we do have a grid already started, and some of these roads are being taken care of, but it's slow going because we only get like $2 million a year from the gas tax, so we can't. And then another thing too is I can't take the money. You have a lot of money. If you looked at Hemet's financials, it would look like, because we're sitting on 140 million, something like that, right? Why can't we take the 140 million and start tearing up some of these roads, right? Well, you can't use the money that we get from the water, sewer, gas to pay for the roads. It's illegal. We can only use SB1 tax. We can only use we can use general fund, but we try to use the SB1 tax. We try to use the RC, the money we get from our Riverside County Transportation, and one more gas tax that came after SB1, and that all totals up to like $2.5 million a year or something like that. So we basically only have enough to do a street a year.
Now, as far as back to the fire situation, a lot of people were asking any updates on the fire, as far as where is it at, what's the containment, and what destruction do we have so far?
Say it one more time.
Basically, where is the fire at right now? People are wanting to know, where is it currently burning?
So right now, it's not burning, because the rain helped put it out. Now they're just working on hot spots.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's the whole area, that whole map that was red and orange and stuff like that.
Right.
That whole area is still hot, and so every now and then, you know how like a fire will pop up after it's been put out.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they're maintaining or working on or monitoring right now. And we were also on alert because remember they were talking about the hurricane,
right,
and that it would bring all that rain, and then the next concern would be the mudslides.
Right.
So they had all this stuff set up for mudslides. CHP and everybody was getting ready for that.
Yeah, I know. I talked to CHP on Thursday, and they said that they're already prepared for the mudslides. On alert for that. And I noticed too that there's like over 30 strike, a crew of over 30 strike units in Beaumont right now on standby with CAL FIRE to actually come in and help, do search and rescue and be prepared for the mudslides that we possibly may be having.
Yeah. But again, please follow my page. That way you'll know where I'm at all times.
And somebody wants you to give out your phone number again, man.
951-923-2405. Hey Eddie, I got my paycheck from the city in the car.
Oh, that big one that you're supposed to make millions of dollars? Probably the $300 check.
Monday, for those who don't know, I am a mental health therapist. So Monday, clients all day. Tuesday, clients partially all day. Wednesday, I started the day off with clients, and then I had to shoot off to LA, and that's when I was talking to all those different officials and stuff about like giving me updates and advice on what should I do to give some certainty to my constituents.
Right.
But the idea that was coming out was it's not in your jurisdiction, so you don't necessarily need to go out there and say something. And so I just kept talking on my face page about that, and trying to tell people to share my face page so that they could get the word out. And as I saw information coming out from all the different county agencies and stuff, it seemed like, and there was a couple times where I posted things, but even that information was late. Because by the time the command center got it, and they send it down to the county of Riverside, then the county of Riverside emails us, and by the time we get it, the information's late. You know what I mean? So there's a part of me that was like, I'm out here posting late information, and I know that because some of the people that are following my page were correcting me. And it was like, so what I did was I started sharing the other agency stuff to keep the alerts going. If you were to go on my page right now, there's a link tree that and it looks like a fire emblem, like the badge they wear. It looks like that. So if you click on that, it has everything on there, like the current updates, and it even has a percentage bar so you can see the activity that's going on, what they're working on, what they're doing, what's next, closures. It has all of that on there.
A lot of people's been asking about what roads are closed, which roads are being open now. So that's a good link to go to that. And that's on your personal page, on the mayor page that I just put up on the link on YouTube. And I'm going to send that link again as well on our Facebook viewers, because we are live on YouTube and on Facebook.
What did Sandra say?
Sandra on Facebook. Sandra Cruz says, the people of Hemet pulled together, but not your leaders. It was hard to get information about the fire except from the chief of fire departments, the neighboring towns that are freaking out seeing ashes and smoke.
Yeah. And so she's right.
And
the fire chief was putting out information. The information is coming from our fire chief,
right,
who's on the ground.
Exactly, and we're trying to relay as much information as we can from the fire chief to our news pages as well.
So by the time, it's like, it's if the best thing I could do is be there with the fire chief while he's sending the email,
right,
and then give it to y'all, or let him put the emails out in the face page, you know what I mean, and let him do his job, because that's what he's paid to do, is to give us the information.
And I just see George Evans, he's the president or an admin, I guess, of the Moose Lodge, and they said that they can also donate their Moose Lodge as donations and pick up as well for the fire victims too.
Repeat that one more time.
George Evans with the Moose Lodge over there on Main and Pico.
Yeah.
They will open up their Moose Lodge for donations and pickups as well.
Yeah.
So George, I appreciate that. You guys always help out the community. And we're going to go ahead and open this up for any questions and answers. So if you have questions that you would like to ask the mayor, go ahead and put those in your comments. We are watching all the questions here on Facebook and on our YouTube feed. So I'm going to go ahead and start scrolling through while you guys are asking questions. I'm going to go ahead and look for
I even put on my page, how to be ready. So when they give you the warning, hey, you're about to be evacuated, what items to grab, what, you know what I mean?
Right. I think we shared that too from you.
The whole thing on, and I did see people sharing my stuff to him. So I'm like, this information is getting passed around, but still, and it's even when we do the citywide cleanups,
right,
people don't even know about that. It's like, I set these things up for people. You can bring your mattresses and whatever you got to throw away.
Don't throw it off the side of the road. Bring it to you guys,
On the 20th, I think, September 20th, Saturday.
Yeah, it's normally on the Saturdays that you guys do that.
We got one coming up. If you go on Hemet's face page, the City of Hemet's face page, you'll see that we're having another cleanup. But then, and this has nothing to do with the fire, but it's an example of we try to put this information out to people, but yet they don't know that it's happening, or they found out afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know. I sincerely don't know what else to do, but to maybe inundate everyone with the text messages. You know what I mean? I don't, but that costs money, and I'm not trying to spend taxpayer money on something that I don't necessarily have to.
Just send it.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll put it out for you.
So I try to share things to him and I News, Action I News, so that people are well informed. Like, I don't know how many people know that we had a movie in the park. We had 500 people showed up, but
Right.
then there was all these people that didn't know.
That's it.
So I don't. Just follow me on Facebook, guys. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to be my friend. You don't have to like me, but just at least follow me so that you're updated with information.
Hey, I got people that hate me and still follow me.
Just, I don't. That's not the point if you hate me or like me. Just follow
That's right.
the
Get
page.
info.
The page isn't even me. It's just me putting out information on what's happening in the city.
We have Christy Wright says, why is the area that's getting taken care of before the fire? Isn't this the city? Shouldn't this never happen? Can you clarify that a little bit more for us, Christy? Why is that area getting taken care of before the fire? What area? Up there?
What? Yeah. What area?
What area? When are they taking care of where the fire's at? The mayor of our town, who you are seeing in the video, is Mayor Malcolm Lethinial. Let's see. Okay, where
Shout outs to So Cheesy
Yes.
Food Truck.
And also shout out to Deal Busters. I want to talk about them a little bit. The owners of Deal Busters actually donated enough money to pay for the So Cheesy truck to come out to the American Legion Post 53. And
I agree, Sean.
They were feeding fire victims, so
Yeah.
that was nice of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
also,
Post 50, American Legion Post 53 opened up their doors for everyone too.
Yes, they did. Joe
Mills.
Also,
Council member Joe Mills.
Right. Also, donations will be coming in from Deal Busters as well. They got pallets of water they're going to be donating. Also, I think they're getting a shipment of clothes and shoes and stuff coming in. They're going to be donating a lot of that as well. So that'll be took to our donation center over there at Cops for Kids, and also at the Moose Lodge. So we'll make sure some of those get to both of those locations.
Yeah.
They're always about the community, so I definitely want to shout out to them as well too. Let's see.
Yeah, like I said, guys, I got an open door policy, so I don't hide from anyone. Again, number is 951-923-2405. If I don't text you, it's probably because I'm in a session with a client. And so I get back to people in between clients and stuff like that. But for the most part.
Michael Cisneros, if I said her name wrong, I'm sorry. Michelle, I'm sorry. Going back to, like the mayor said, helping the firefighters. We did talk with the fire chief and some of the fire PIO, which is press information officers. They very much appreciate everybody wanting to help. Like the mayor said, they have tax money grants that's helping them. They have plenty of food. We gave a tour on our YouTube channel of the
trucks,
the base,
and
the trucks,
yeah,
and their mess halls. They have so much food, so
showers,
much water, showers, water stations, everything. They're very well took care of. The fire department wants us to let everybody know, and I see people are starting to do that. They said the only thing that they really want from the community is to see posters and signs posted out saying, thank you, we support you, we love you. That's what they want to see.
Yeah, because they did feel, talking to some of these fire personnel, they did feel overwhelmingly loved by everyone and well supported. So kudos to Hemet.
And Michelle says, why did the mayor say that Hemet is not on fire? Huh? You want to reiterate?
Because we have like our city boundaries, right? And the only place that came into our city boundaries was at Simpson Park.
Right.
And Simpson Park is like an island of itself within the county, and it's like outside of our borders. So that's what I meant by Hemet wasn't on fire.
The city of Hemet,
The
but
county,
the outskirts, the
county
side.
that people like, because your address still says Hemet, even though you're not within the city boundaries. That's what I meant. Like the actual city itself wasn't on fire, but the county areas were.
Right.
And so I can't speak for the county areas.
You're
You know what I
only
mean?
limited to the city.
Yeah, I'm not.
area.
I can't talk about other jurisdictions like that.
Glad you pointed that out. Homes, okay, Lori said homes weren't for a piece. Sanders says, I live in Menifee, our mayor is everywhere, kind of sounds like excuses. I work at MI. Well, you know, it's not excuses. I mean, the mayor's got a lot on him. Again, when it comes back into the outside of the city area, there's not much our mayor, he can't speak on behalf of the county jurisdiction area of Hemet.
Where'd you see that at?
It's on the Facebook Live. Sandra Cruz.
Well, I'm not here to provide excuses. I'm just here to answer everybody's questions.
Exactly.
I'm just here to provide excuses. I'm just telling you straight up what happened.
And Susan Brown says, I'm aware of the duties and responsibility as a mayor. You should have made a statement. You should have represented the entire area of Hemet. The city and the county residents all do matter. I pay Hemet taxes too.
That's not correct. If she lives in the county, we don't get nothing from her.
There you go. Your taxes go elsewhere. And of course, the mayor already made a statement why he couldn't make a statement at that time. You know, he had to wait till he can get all of his information together to be able to make a statement.
And then by that time, we weren't even
premature statement.
Yeah. And so tell Levy Garcia they'll have a new mayor come December.
So you need a break, huh?
No, that's just how it works.
Yeah, every December
Every year.
they do a new mayorship. Let's see. I'm going to the questions right now. And George Evans says, when people lose everything, they don't care if clothing can be washed, people, or you know if it's degrading the citizens. If you want to help, we will help here at the Moose Lodge, which is located on Main and Pico. We can be a donation center. People can also drop off things that they can distribute. So I appreciate that, George, very much. You guys always help out. And let's see, I'm still scrolling through comments. Looking for some more questions. Billy says, it's your fault that you don't know who the mayor is. It's your fault you complain about him and you're doing anything to help. Thank you, Billy. So Cheesy Truck said, let's put together a donation day to help some of those programs. We want to help with my truck. He wants to donate his truck time and help. He would be definitely proud of things that you've done so far, and they would love to help building positivity in our community. We can help, or we can.
He's saying we could do a city. What's a city rally day?
I feel like a lot of people do something else. A city rally day. I don't see that comment yet. You must be ahead of me, Mayor. Let's see.
Somebody else asked, is Edison going to be held responsible?
You know, I'm sure they will probably be held responsible. Edison did put out a statement that they are the cause of the fire, but then again, when we talk to CAL FIRE says that they're still investigating it. It's still under investigation. We were contacted by CAL FIRE, George Evans, he's one of our, and George Evans was just actually out in that area. He was just got done with the moves. He was out driving around, just enjoying, you know, the city of Hemet, and he noticed the fire. It was at 2 acres at that time.
Yeah.
So George actually was the first 911 caller according to 911, and he went live immediately and started alerting the public. And even Cal Fire said his live stream really helped alert a lot of people. If it wasn't for George Evans, you know, a lot of people probably wouldn't have got notified and started, you know, vacating. When I wanted a copy of George's first live stream involved in that first fire at the time period of that fire, would help them determine what the fire was built of. You know, the smoke tells you a lot when you're investigating a fire. So that's going to determine a lot. So coming back to SCE, I don't know if they're pleading guilt too early or what, but it is still under investigation according to CAL FIRE.
Sandra, there is no mayor per se, but you have Supervisor Chuck Washington, who is your county representative. He would be like your mayor.
And George Evans, Mayor, I like what you're saying, and we need to talk. So he definitely wants to hook up with you. I don't like Eddie. Lori is the boss. Yeah.
Don't like
George
Eddie.
don't like me. He loves me. Nikki Raymond, he needs to join all the Facebook groups from Hemet to post there, which he does. He's been posting on a lot of our news groups out here as well.
So the problem is and so what I got to do is, so what I'll do, because I joined Hemet Positivity. I can't remember all the groups' name, but I joined probably 5 groups in the last month. And so what I have to do is, because I always post on my mayor page, I have to take all that stuff and share it to my personal page, and then I can share it to the or just outright post it, just copy and paste my own post
Right.
into those other things. But I'm very proud of our citizens.
Our citizens has really come together. I mean, people want to complain about Hemet, but you know what? When it comes to disasters, our people do.
We always come together on stuff. People even came together on that homeless woman, Patty.
Exactly, Patty.
So one day we're complaining about the homeless, and then the next day we're sad that one's gone. So that means humanity still exists, right?
Yeah. I'm having hope in that it does. Right. The mayor is actually a little bit ahead on the comments on me, so.
Why didn't we control fires in the? So it was kind of difficult for them to control the fire because the wind kept changing on them. And so every time they tried, that's why it stayed at 5% for so long, because they were trying, what they try to do when they say containment is they try to put a circle around the fire of lines for water and sometimes it's the lines of the fire retardant, but they try to block it off so it doesn't spread. But then once the wind picks up and it carries embers off, it'll start fires outside of the containment. So then they got to reel everything back in and then start it again. And they kept having to do that. And it was so frustrating for them because that wind kept changing. It wasn't even blowing in one direction. It would blow in one for 15 minutes and then change and then change again. And so they were trying to stay ahead of it.
It was a wild goose chase,
Yeah.
Basically.
So when those rains came, they were able to get more of a, get around it.
Exactly. Who is the mayor of the county areas? I am a little confused about that. I didn't know we had a mayor in the county area. That would go. Everything like that would fall back to Chuck Washington, wouldn't it?
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So,
And the city needs to have a TV channel to get information out, and that would break into the programming with important info. Well, we're actually, him and I News is actually working on that right now. So we do have a studio that we're getting set up. We're hoping, we just got a lot of our equipment in this week, so we'll be getting everything hopefully activated pretty soon. Why didn't we control the fires in that area? Well, like I said, like the mayor just said, you know, the wind is a big part of it.
It was a huge part,
exactly.
Huge. It was aggravating because it would change on them. And imagine a little ember being carried, and then a whole nother fire starting. And all you need is air and wind.
Exactly.
Air
we had a lot of it.
It was the perfect conditions. It was hot in there, and it was hot.
You know,
for
we had
for
so
one of
many
those
firefighters go to the hospital with heat exhaustion and smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
And all that. We made some posts on that as well too. Let's see. Let me jump over to the YouTube. Let's see if we have any questions on YouTube.
Someone said we need more funding. I'm guessing it's funding for training.
And we do have CERT too. Talk a little bit about CERT while I'm looking up questions. People can get trained in the community through CERT.
So, I don't want to say in the event this happens again, but just to be prepared for, because I even think about like if we have an earthquake here, are we going to band together again, or are we going to, because it'll actually be within the city limits that a lot of destruction will happen, right? Mm-hmm. And so I wonder how many of us are certified in CERT to ensure that we know, you know, like the proper training that we should have, so that we can make sure that we're a part of the solution and not the problem when it comes to those emergency times. Right. You know what I mean?
And CERT, a lot of people don't understand what CERT is, and that stands for Community Emergency Response Team.
Yeah.
And CERT is an organization, it's a volunteer organization that anybody can be a member of. They will actually train you how to take care of your family first and then look out for your community next.
Yeah.
And they prepare you for fires, storms, earthquakes, hurricanes, everything that you need to know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and when not to do it.
Yeah, but keep a lookout for that, because we're gonna we got one of our fire personnel here in the city is he's a certified instructor, so he'll be able to and we have a lot of people. I just found out because at the last city meeting we had a city update at the I forgot the name of the church on Menlo, and it's on Menlo and Sanderson. It's not Lighthouse.
I can't remember either.
But we were talking about, we were given the community updates in that area about like what's coming, new restaurants and different things like that. And we found out there were people there who had CERT training, but they're like, what are we going to do? Because we haven't had any classes, any meetings and stuff like that. So just stay tuned for that to start back up, so that I think everybody should be, just like everybody should be certified in CPR.
Exactly.
Like, do any of you guys practice fire drills with your families, earthquake drills with your families? Do you guys have like a bag that's already ready to go so that you're not scrambling in the event of an emergency? Do you guys have like a to-go bag, like just like something sitting in the side of your car just in case you broke down on the side of the road? It's like being prepared for stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then, are your neighbors prepared? Are you guys? What are you gonna? Are your neighbors? Are you guys all have a plan to meet somewhere? You know, so you can take care of each other.
Always have that plan.
You know.
Somebody wants to know about the smoke. Let me see what it is.
Glenn says I make $91,000 a year.
Oh, I wish. What about the
Hold
smoke?
on, I'm gonna go get the check.
Right, he's gonna go get the check, folks. And everybody's been saying, you know, I'm glad you're doing that, Mayor. A lot of people were saying, oh, you know, they make a that. Well, he's gonna prove to you how much he really makes.
And just in case they say you left the door open.
That's fine. You can close it.
I have an unopened one. I'm gonna let you open it.
Oh, I get to open the mayor's check. Let me come over here. I'm gonna have the honor. Now, I'm not gonna go to jail for opening your mail, am I?
Yes.
Y'all. Do I have your permission to open your mail?
Yes. The
Okay,
only reason
yeah.
why it's not open because it's direct deposit.
Wow, look at all these checks. Man, that's a joke. All right, let's see here. Here you go. I'm gonna just, this fan is blowing everything everywhere. There you go. Y'all see this, right?
Glenn said he said Google it.
Google it, right? Now I get to cash half of this, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of dinner we're going to be able to go out on. Are you serious? $0?
Don't do me like that.
That's what it says. $0.
Because it's direct deposit.
Oh.
So you gotta turn the rest of that.
$298 gross pay. Wow. Let's see. Let me grab this phone real quick. I want to show you guys this. All right, here we go. Gross pay $298. Net pay $272. Year-to-date earnings $4,738. Where's that $100,000 that you
Please tell
supposed
me
to
because
make?
I need a paint job.
Right. I think we could go to McDonald's on this, right? Well, there you go.
No.
The proof is in the pudding. You want to hold that still, or?
Well, like I said, I make my money as a therapist, guys.
There you go.
Not, I make a living as a therapist.
You sure ain't making a living as a mayor. I see that.
But that's how it is in these council manager cities. It's the
And is that a week or month?
twice a month.
Twice a month. So you're looking at
About
close
little,
to 600
yeah,
a month.
Yeah.
Damn, I make more money than you do, and I run my mouth. Wow. Well, there you go. Y'all see it right there. I would like to invite the mayor down to the Moose Lodge for a ribeye steak dinner. There you go, Mayor.
Michelle, it's twice a month.
Okay, the smoke situation. After this rain, people are asking, how's the smoke going to be? What's your take on that?
If you guys have air purifiers or you can to make sure that you're not sucking air in your house, stay indoors. Don't try to go jogging or something during this time, you know what I mean? To keep you safe, because you're outside and then all of a sudden you start to feel a little woozy because you're inhaling all this smoke. You guys remember when it first down here and then all you smelled was smoke everywhere and you kind of get dizzy. So it's best to stay indoors. I tried wearing a mask. It didn't really help that much, but it did protect my lungs from the ash.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing too to look out for, especially with this heat, we recommend that everybody always, especially at least twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, check your filters on your air conditioner.
Yeah.
Because the ashes will be coming in.
Yeah, in fact, you should all replace all of your filters after this is all said and done.
Right.
Yeah.
And well, what if I don't have outside filters? Make sure you take a water hose, shut your air conditioner off for a few minutes. If you have an outside condenser unit, make sure you wash down those condenser.
Yeah, and there's products that you could buy at Home Depot and Lowe's that you spray on it and then collect it on it. That's a lot of times why those things struggle during the heat, is because they're not clean. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Does anybody else have any questions that you would like to ask the mayor right now? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Here on YouTube and on Facebook, I am monitoring both comments sections on here. So you want to know something? Like I say, everybody's been asking questions. Where's the mayor? You have a lot of questions. Now's the time to ask the mayor.
Kimberly said below poverty.
Right?
Oh my gosh. Below poverty. Oh, guys, go on. I think it's called Transparent California.
Okay.
That will tell you who's making what everywhere, and it's, you know what I mean. It's on point because it's a California like
Public
transparency.
record.
You know what I mean. So instead of googling people's salaries, if you just go on Transparent California, you can see. You can see how much the governor's making, senators, all of your supervisors in the county, all the mayors throughout the entire, state of California. We have like 58 counties in California,
Right.
and we have, and so you can see how much everybody's doing, what they're making.
And William Fitz says, tell the mayor that he is doing a very great job. Katie Thompson says, just want to say thanks to all you do. I see a difference with your leadership in our communities. Thank you, Katie. We appreciate that.
While we're, let me see if I can go on here to get that date solidified on the citywide cleanup. Because even I know it's this month. I just don't.
Okay, Aaron G on YouTube, his question was, please let us who have been evacuated know if the smoke is still affecting most of the Hemet air quality. They're on the Cornell and Whittier area after the rain.
Okay, so wait till after the rain.
No, he's asking,
No, it's still good. You're still going to be affected. That's why
affected.
They did lift the evacuation, but they said to be cautious about, like, just monitor your breathing because you might be affected. Especially if someone who has asthma.
Right. Now, as far as evacuations, has everybody been able to go back to their homes now, or is there still got evacuations ordered active yet?
Everybody should be back home. From what was told to me, they should be back home by 9 tomorrow.
By 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, but they've lifted the get out of your home. You know what I mean?
Type deals.
So by 9 a.m. everybody should be back home.
So do we still have road closures and everything throughout town in certain areas?
They're cleaning it up right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
So give it till tomorrow.
Everything should be done by 9.
September 24th is the cleanup day, Kimberly Parker says.
That sounds about right. It was Prince of Peace Lutheran Church that I was at.
Oh, okay. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Now's the time to ask.
So bring all of your items. If you want to throw stuff away, we do it. We have good turnouts for those things, but we have 90,000 people in this city, and let's make the CRNR trucks line up there. Let's make it worth it.
And where they normally do this at?
The city library,
Okay,
behind the library.
behind the library. Yeah, Lori.
Okay, we just had a report. So everybody needs a prayer for the Cal Fire. Cal Fire helicopter crashed with 3 on board.
Oh
They're all
no!
sent to the trauma center.
So one of our Cal Fire helicopters just crashed with 3 of our firefighters on board, and they've been transferred to the trauma center. That's
Crashed
just
near Banning Airport.
It crashed near the Banning Airport. We just got that bad news. It just came in. Oh my goodness! Y'all keep your prayers out for our firemen. And Boss Media, I don't know what your issue is. He keeps looking at his phone because he's reading the comments and answering comments. That's why he is watching his phone. So, you know, I'm just going to put you on timeout. And boot you from...
Okay, we don't know. This says 3 injured. We don't know if it's firemen or if it's on the ground.
Okay, we
Well,
just
yeah,
got
we-
notification that's 3 injured in that
I
crash.
do have video from Eddie Neary.
Okay, Eddie Neary's got video of that. Can you Facebook message me the video and I can see if I can put that into the live feed?
He just has no, he just has video of Cal Fire with it. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll send you.
That's a
Tammy says it's a pilot and 2 firefighters that was in the crash. All right. Let me know when you get it sent and I'll pull it into the live feed. Is it in the Hemet News chat?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can go put it in. I'm going to put you guys on hold. Bear with me. Okay, let me see if I can be right back with you.
remember the commercials like after these messages.
Right. Okay, it's still saving. Come on. Video and photos. All right, here's one video that just came in. Let me add that in. All right, here's one of the videos that we just got. Let me see if I can pull this up. Come on. Eddie Neary with EN3 Media. Appreciate Eddie for that coverage. Let me see if I can pull up your other video real quick.
Which is also Beaumont News Source.
Beaumont News Source. Okay, I feel that's coming in as his information and share that on our pages. So,
EN3 Productions,
yeah.
not media, that's John.
Well, EN3 News. We got too many ENs out here. EN3 News. There you go. You see it there. All right, Mayor, we are back with you. All right. Let's see YouTube. So these blow-ins. So you're the one who's allowed all these blow-ins to exploit Hemet, Joseph, whatever you're talking about. I don't know.
He's probably talking about all the homeless people.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people are, you know, let's talk about that real quick. A lot of people are saying that the city of Hemet gets paid money to accept all these homeless people here. What is your take on that as our city mayor?
I can't find a line item within our budget, our finances that says for the homeless to be dropped off here. Money for is for people that are on parole, and that is money to help. So what that does is it pays for officers for when they're on probation and they're on parole to do those stings where they go and check
Like
them out, makes
the
them
Thursday sweeps.
Yeah.
Like we have every Thursday.
So that fund pays for our officers to do that. But as far as getting money for homeless, I'm not going to sit up here and say no one's dropping off anyone here, because I don't know that, and no one's been able to provide any type of tangible proof. Somebody did bring a video, with a white van of some people getting out of it, and then when we looked into it, they were these migrant workers from Mexico on visas, the ones that you see out here harvesting these crops.
Right.
And so they stay in our, because they're like, see, they're being dropped off at the Motel 6, but they were the ones that do that work out there. And so I could see how that could look like somebody's dropping somebody off. But we are what do you call it, like an end destination. So RTA ends here. So if someone, and then there's a couple times where people said that they saw the Temecula Police Department and Marietta Police Department dropping off people here, but no one's been able to. We need the proof, because if we have the proof, then we can go after these cities that are doing it. And so I don't see anything in the line items. You guys can look in the line items with me, but I haven't found anything that's saying that we're getting money for it. Now, if somebody's getting money under the table, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't know that, because it's under the table. Budgeted or revenues received that says we're getting money for something like this.
Eddie,
Yeah.
you might be bringing up something that was on there. Somebody says that we're only talking good about Malcolm because he's paying us.
And Malcolm is not paying me jack shit. I'm doing this voluntarily, so whoever's saying that, you're talking out your asshole.
They said the city's paying us to talk good about them.
The city is not paying me nothing. I don't know. I love how people come up with their ideas.
We could go through the line item. That requires an MOU. That's why we haven't really made an agreement with him and I News for the Channel 3, is because so the thing is at least what our city managers in the past have said is, if we just give it to someone, then the city has to monitor what they're saying and make sure it's all factual and all kinds of different things like that, which takes up staff time. And then also you have, he would have to have an RFP, would have to, so a request for a proposal. So then we would have to put it all out to the city of Hemet. We can't just pick someone, and these things got to go through processes.
And people have to bid on it too.
Yeah, and so that's what I meant about the request for. So people would have to come in, bid on it, the contract, and then the contract would go to council to where, like, do we agree on paying this much out? Can we handle it, and things like this. Way more. Lot of red tape, to get something like that going. So we don't even have petty cash to just give people, like homeless people, money to clean up parks and stuff like that. So we wouldn't be able to give petty cash to, and of course I can say that because I represent the city, so that's not fair. We need a third party to audit us or something.
Exactly. And let's see. Okay, Tammy, thank you for the CAL FIRE press release. I just went in and approved your post on that too. Thank you so much. I don't even see that comment. Whoever said that. Okay, well, I think that's.
I would have had to come to, you could sift through all of the YouTube videos of our council meetings. That would have had to come to council that we were paying him.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. So I'd know it offhand if, we were. But even if we were paying you, you'd still have to be responsible to put only the facts out and not, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Which we already put out the facts anyway, so, and it's a lot of work to be able to prepare everything to put on Channel 3, and by the time it would actually get on Channel 3, we could already have it out on all of our social media pages, so, we do this, we volunteer what we do for our city, not just for the city, we do it for our community. Because, when I designed Hemet News and built Hemet News, I wanted to design something that would utilize a tool for a community to use to know what's happening when it's happening. Not, you know, if you're going to find out in the papers, it's going to take a week, you know, to be printed and get out.
Yeah.
You know, when there's something happening, people want to know now.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on. And that's why I built this page, is not just to bring you the news, but bring you community events. You know, help each other, look out for each other, not at each other. If somebody in our community needs help, we should be able to reach out and help each other. You know, not just look at them. You know, look
And if
out
you-
for them, not at them.
And if you guys have, like, you want to see this stuff for yourself, like I said, 951-923-2405 is my number. I can set up a meeting with you. I can give you a tour of City Hall. We can go through some paperwork together to find some of these things, and so that you can see it for yourself. You know, because I could sit up here all day and say I can't find a line item on any of these issues that people are bringing up. But I would like you to see it for yourself.
Exactly.
You don't even have to come down here. You can just email our city clerk for information on our finances.
And also, are we no water restrictions at this time?
So if you have, I can speak for everyone who has 3 numbers in their address, because they are on well water. And we have something to the tune of 8 years of supply. So like if we never got rain again, we would be good for 8 years. We have so much water, we sold off some of the water credits so that we could update some of these wells and stuff like that to keep them nice and updated. And so we're doing really good on water. Anybody who's on EMWD, I don't know what to tell you.
Carrie says, after this fire is cleared over, the city council needs to have a meeting at the library so we all can go over the details of this fire and how we can improve the actions for the city. Good idea, but it's even hard to even get people to come to the city council meetings, less than come to a big city meeting like this. You know, people always complain about issues in the city, but
I'll
yet
still
they don't
do
come
it.
to the city council meetings.
Who is that, Carol?
Carrie Armstrong.
Carrie Armstrong. Carrie needs to write down my number, reach out to me, because I'm going to just be transparent with you right now. If I try to keep it in my head and remember it, I'm going to forget about it. So 951-923-2405, and shoot me a text message, hey, can we set up a meeting that we can have after this? And I'll be glad to do that for us.
And so Cheesy Truck says, do you want to get together and build an informational rally day? I'm in it for sure. I will donate all proceeds to help with whatever programs that needs the most attention.
Okay, so is the rally day the same thing as what?
Basically, I guess that's what Matt's talking about.
Is that the same thing she was asking me about?
No, well, you know what? It probably is. Yeah, a day for everybody to get together and give information out.
So maybe I'll do what she said if she texts me,
Okay, Matt.
and then invite him out.
Yeah, Matt,
so they're all
get up with the mayor. Contact our mayor. His number has been given.
How many people are on this?
We dropped down to 48 now.
So in the beginning, I think we had like 88. But again, there's 90,000 people here,
Right?
guys. If I say, you know, some transient was crossing the street and I don't know, did something to someone or whatever, and I post a
Everybody be
picture on it,
there, right?
12,000 likes, 12,000 shares, 4,000 comments. Hey guys, movie in the park, 3 shares, 3 comments, yay, and
Or attention Hemet City, you have concerns, you have complaints, bring it to the city council meeting this Tuesday, blah, blah, blah.
Nobody
Like,
comes.
Nobody goes.
Nobody comes.
But they want to get on Facebook and
If
complain
you got
about it.
issues, I tell you, come for 3 minutes, get it in front of our faces. I'll allow you. You can even. Some people, what they'll do is they'll bring their friends and share the minutes, so they get a longer time to talk. But yeah,
I see a lot of people do that, Mayor. They'll go on Facebook, they'll voice their opinion about issues that they have where it don't really count. You have to go to the city council meetings. That's where it counts at.
But I do see, sometimes I do see them, and I to take them into consideration. But now I have to fight on your behalf. Whereas if you all came and sat in front of all 5 of us, then we can
Exactly.
all fight together.
That's right.
You know, because I can't do anything on my own. I need the 4 other people to join in with me.
And that's his story, and he's sticking to it. All right, let me check YouTube.
But I appreciate all of you who support me. I appreciate all those who, I could say, don't support me, because you're still feeding me information that still helps me better the city.
Absolutely.
But I encourage all of you guys to follow me on Facebook so that you're always updated. And then I will, there's a comment earlier that I need to post more on the other, I need to join all the other pages. So I'll make sure I try to increase that, even if it's late at night.
Well, you never sleep, Mayor. So, all right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Mayor Malcolm from our city of Hemet. Oh, wait, I got another comment just came in. Sue Jensen. The rumor that Hemet is paid to accept parolees has been circulating for years. No one has ever come up with a proof. Exactly. And a lot of people also say there's a sign in L.A.
Yeah, I
saying,
can't.
we'll pay you to move to Hemet.
I drove out there. I don't even know where to look. Because that's a way. Man, we could get all kinds of money.
Everybody supposedly see this sign, but nobody can never get a picture of it. And Captain Brock with Hemet PD said that they will give a cash reward to whoever can bring us a picture of that sign. So I'd love to see that picture.
We can do litigation.
Exactly.
You know? All the problems that we've had with people who, these homeless people and stuff like that. At this point, we've tried to partner with the Riverside County for a recovery center, and a lot of people think that this is a homeless shelter, but it will also be on Menlo and State will be housed in there. So it's not like this recovery center is just a place where homeless people go to sleep and then they come out. It's a navigational center where they go in and they go from they'll detox there, and then they get into the counseling programs, the mental health programs that help, when I say counseling, like social workers, to make sure they're paired up with the doctors, dentists, they're getting their checkups and stuff like that. That'll come.
Well, a lot of people's concern on that, Mayor, is they're worried that other people will come in from different counties to this, and then they'll come in for like 72 hours, or they said that even if they don't like the rehab, they could just leave at any time. So they're feeling, okay, when they leave the facility, they're going to be on our streets. So there's more people.
So they're right. But the caveat is that the agreement is if a person decides to leave and they're not from Hemet, they'll be taken back to where they were.
That's going to be
That's
good.
the
That's
agreement. But so it's not so, and we'll know because they'll be in that HMIS system where a lot of these people who are homeless are in a system and their names are in there, so they'll know where they're from.
Right.
Okay. So when they and it's funny because the one in Riverside that's already built, it's called the Ark, has people from Hemet. But Riverside's not complaining that we're sending our homeless over there. You know what I mean? And so this is like a regional, we need to work together. This is a regional thing. It's not a Hemet thing. It's not a San Jacinto thing. And like I said, remember how I said I went to LA?
Right.
They got these huge encampments out. I'm not saying we don't have problems. We look good because when our encampments show up, they get taken down really quickly, and the people out here kind of know not to do that, or it's a waste of time to do that. You know, along the 10, remember, I don't know, were up there too, but they got the tiny homes out there for them, and this whole navigation system where they're trying to help some of those people, because a lot of those people have degrees and just fell on hard times. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're not on drugs. But that's what that recovery center is about.
And talking about tiny homes, what's the status on the prefab tiny homes for the homeless out here in Hemet through Valley Restart? To see that they got at least 6 of them already.
So the permitting process is still going through.
Okay.
And the inspection, have the inspectors coming out there and making sure everything's safe. You know, you need the fire inspectors, you need all kinds of people to come out there, and so things just, you know.
So it's a work in progress.
Yeah. So we're just waiting on finalization of paperwork and stuff.
Now, once they get that finalized and everything, are they looking at bringing out more of those, or what's the city's plan on that?
That's a question for Javier.
We'll have to get Javier on
Restart.
here. We've interviewed him a few times. So.
I'm a big proponent of tiny homes, and the company we use, CityNet, right now, that's helping us with our homeless population, has an opportunity for us to invest with them, that they could put something up that's not permanent. It's more like a circus kind of thing, where the circus is there for 3 days and it's gone. Right. So there's no plumbing, there's none of that. They just set up and then they're there.
Okay.
And Valley Restart has a bunch of land that would be a great place for this. Right. But we're going to see what happens with the recovery center first, because that doesn't come out of our dollars. That's county. That'll be county funded completely.
And Deborah Steinberg, to talk about the fires. We did talk about the fires. We asked all the questions that was asked. The mayor actually gave all the information. You must just log in late. But Deborah, if you have any questions that you would like to ask about the fires, feel free to do so now before we go off the live. The mayor did finish talking about the fire situation and all the updates on that, and then he's just answering questions
as
that
they
have been
come
coming
in
from the, so yeah, it did get sidetracked off the fires by questions that has been asked by the community. Sandy Bass says there was a tent set up in the park across from the Hobby Lobby this morning. I see tents set up everywhere out here.
C-Click fix that stuff, or 951-923-2405 me. Okay? You tell me when you know what I'm saying? You guys shoot me, hey, there's a tent in such area, and then I'll have somebody go out there and make sure that that's handled.
Yeah, C-Click Fix is a good app that the city utilizes. So definitely, if you don't have that app, make sure you do go get that app. If you see issues in the city that needs to be addressed, you can take a picture of it, gives the location of it, and it goes out to all the city officials, and somebody will go out there and check that out. And Carrie Armstrong says she sent you a text.
Oh yeah, I do. I see it.
All right, so here he's got that, Carrie. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions relating anything?
But take
to
my
city
if something
or
comes
phone?
up in your head later on, I don't have to be on a live to answer your guys' questions. Just text me.
And what's that number again, Mayor?
951-923-2405.
There you go. Or you can just ask it here following the comments on this live stream as well too. So anybody else, another minute to ask, and then we're going to go ahead and end this live stream. wants to ask any questions or missed it, you can go ahead and ask those after we go off live, and the mayor will be watching those as well. What's the name of the application used to city issues? It's called C-Click Fix.
Yeah.
Here, let me type that in. SEECLICKFIX.
Yeah.
There you go.
Download that app. I will tell you guys, I always say this all the time, but make sure wherever you take the picture at, you're there when you submit it, because if you submit it at home,
it's going to give your home address.
They'll come to your house.
Right. So it's got a GPS tracking on it, basically. So wherever you at, take it and submit it there at the scene.
If your location's on.
Right. If your location's on.
If you're located. So if you see potholes,
Or
lifted
crack holes.
sidewalks. You said crack hole? Lifted sidewalks, graffiti, especially graffiti, guys. We've been doing a really good job at taking stuff down 24 or 48 hours. And people have been submitting all of those. Yeah, we did get side.
Crack holes.
So, yeah, just text me 951-923-2405.
Okay. So basically, just to relapse the people, it looks like the fire is basically, thanks to the rain, under control.
That rain is beautiful, and because it got cooler.
And yes, and the winds, well, I see a little bit of wind out there right now. We are at 40% containment.
Yeah.
But that containment area, majority of it's really now just hot spots. It's really no big flames. Nothing's really burning now. It's just hot spotted areas, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So they're saying 307 acres, so 28,307, 40% contained with a total of 2,241 personnel that were assigned to the fire. And so today, the operational plan for today was to take advantage of the break in the weather, and then the personnel assigned will be mopping up and taking care of any hot spots inside the burn, and then other personnel will continue reinforcing the containment line, and then we will also begin organized efforts for repopulation for our residents safely. And then they said that the tropical storm K had broken up, but there were still those bands of moisture that could make its way through the area, and so those conditions are favorable to continue to make significant improvements in the fire. So they love that this weather is here right now. But that's it, guys.
So it looks like everybody should probably be able to return home by tomorrow then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we will be putting out a list of who needs help with what. We will be doing an announcement on our Action Eye News page and also on Hemet Eye News. We are setting up donation centers where people can bring clothes, food, water, hygiene products to the victims, because right now Red Cross is not accepting that because of, COVID issues and stuff like that. So there are a lot of people that is not in the shelters that really need a lot of the stuff. So we will be opening up Cops for Kids in communities. They're on State Street. We'll be announcing that location. Also, 1112 South State Street. So, and also the Moose Lodge just volunteered to use their facility for drop-off and pick-up locations. So we'll be making those announcements in the next day or so. So if anybody wants to donate to the fire victims, or they want to help out, we will give you the date and time where everything can be brought down, and then the fire victims can actually come and pick up at the same time. So that'll be come in and drop off and pick up time during the week. So we'll announce all that as well too.
Good deal.
Can I get that phone number again? Let me go ahead and type this phone number in, which is
951-923-2405.
2405.
And I can already see lots of text messages coming in.
He's getting a lot of text messages already coming in. Probably gonna be getting hate messages now too. So, especially I see some on the YouTube viewers. Nobody's asking questions; they're just speaking their mind, their opinions. So there's his phone number on YouTube as well.
I'm not asking people to trust me just yet, but just watch. Just continue to watch. As long as I stay on council, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to make sure that people are in the city of Hemet are taken care of.
Well, I think you've been doing a really good job, and I'm just not saying that because you're paying me, because you're not paying me jack shit to do this. So, you know, I've been watching,
Taking up
I've
your
been following
time.
you. Exactly. You know, we do this to volunteer for the people. You know, somebody needs a gateway, and like I told the city, you know, I'm here to volunteer for you guys. If you guys need to get announcements out to the public, we've got the viewers, you know, platform here. You guys are more than welcome to use our platform to get whatever, you know, service announcements, questions and answers. We're here to be that bridge between the community and our officials. You know?
Yeah.
Same thing with our police and our fire departments, our city chamber of commerces. We network with everybody. It's about letting everybody know what's happening in your city. If you need something, say something. If you see something, say something. If you don't know something, ask it. We'll find out for you. So, all right. Also thanks to Blaze Pizza, Deal Busters, So Cheesy Truck, and Vivian Custom Printing for helping the fire victims as well. Like I say, Deal Busters is going to be doing donations for clothing. We're going to be setting that up. I've been speaking with them last night. Vivid Printing, they've been donating food and stuff to the fire victims, and also Blaze Pizza has been donating food. So we appreciate all the help from all of our local businesses that's stepping up and helping out. So they're about our community. So
Yeah.
thank you guys, and we definitely want to say thank you to our community.
Yes.
We do have a lot
Thank
of
you,
crazy
Hemet.
people, you know, out here that just wants to kick people while they're down, instead of trying to reach out and give a helping hand. And
Yeah,
we
'cause I
see
did
a
hear
lot of
about-
people do help out. So.
I don't know if it happened, but I did hear people were trying to loot.
Yes, the police has been watching
Yeah.
areas, and they've been catching people
What
trying
kind
to
of-
break in. You know, we get that a lot. Anytime
Yeah.
there's a house fire, and we cover the house fire, or you know, people see where the house fire is. Before the people can even get out of their home, people are
Yeah.
trying to go over there and loot. They're trying to come in and spam them with
Yeah.
services and all that too.
And don't forget Hemet Mongol chapter for helping.
Yes, I do want to say thank you to the Hemet Mongols, their chapter. They actually, you know, Lori and I's been out, you know, trying to give this community details on what's happening. You know, I know we got our local TV stations were out here, but you know, we were trying to, you know, give you more footage than our TV stations have been. Costs a lot of gas. We went through a couple $100 in fuel in just the last few days in gas. And the Hemet Mongol chapter actually called us, and they donated $50 to us, you know, to help out with gas. So we definitely appreciate that, you know.
That's awesome.
But they help with the girls' home.
Yes, the Hemet Mongols is helping with the girls' home. They're getting together.
Is that a confidential place?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I believe it is. They lost a lot. They're actually, I talked to one of the girls' homes, and they said that their structure is fine, but they're actually, you know, being evacuated. They were given another place to stay right now, but they are needing hygiene products and stuff and clothes for the girls. So the Hemet Mongols have stepped up, and they are gathering that stuff for them too. So again, thank you to the Hemet Mongols for doing
They also
that.
help with supplies at the high school.
Yeah, and they are also helping with supplies at the high school. So, all right. Well, there you guys go. If you have any other questions, you got the mayor's phone number, or you can comment here. And I know the mayor will be watching this live stream and trying to answer any questions he can. So again, we will be putting out the notifications when we are going to open up the donation centers over at the Moose Lodge on Main and Pinko, and also over at Cops for Kids and Communities. They're at 1112 South State Street in San Jacinto. So thank you for listening, folks. And where is the drop-off for those donations? I just put it out, Tina. So we will be making an announcement when we're going to open the doors for the drop-offs and pickups. So we'll let you guys know that the next day. So I'll be meeting with them tomorrow. We'll probably open the doors over at Cops for Kids tomorrow, so people can actually come in and start dropping off. And I will coordinate with George Evans with the Moose Lodge. So we have 2 pickup and drop-off locations at this time. So Mayor, I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your day coming out to talk to our community. And There's anything else that you want to say in closing?
Just, you can't thank the firefighters enough, because they risk their lives every day. Thank you to them. I'd like to end it with a prayer, though, for that helicopter that went down. So, Father God, I thank you for your angels' charge over those individuals that went down in the helicopter, and we thank you for a speedily recovery. Cover them with your wings, cover them with your love, cover them with your healing power as they make it to the hospital, and as they go through whatever they need to go through to become well again. And we thank you, Lord, for intervening and causing a miraculous healing. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Y'all keep our firefighters in your prayers, ladies and gentlemen. How can we donate clothing to anyone that needs it? Kimberly on YouTube, we will be posting that information out tomorrow. We'll be opening up pickup locations over at 1112 South State Street there in San Jacinto. You can drop those off Monday through Friday. We do have a security guard at the front door on the left side as you come into the parking lot over there at Cops for Kids and Communities. Also, Main and Pico and San Jacinto at the Moose Lodge. We'll be giving times of location pickup there as well too. So thank you for everybody in our community for coming together to be a community, looking out for each other and not at each other. This is Eddie George, that crazy guy with the lazy eye with ActionEyeNews.com, HemetEyeNews.com, and the crazy guy with LazyEye.com, bringing you Mayor Malcolm with the City of Hemet.
Crazy eye. It's always funny.